What's going on, guys? So today we have the Mini 4 Pro, and one of the features that is really great that they have on some of the drones, not just this drone, the Mavic 3 Pro for example, and I think they implemented it maybe on the Mini 3 Pro 2 now, is cruise control. And I see not a lot on YouTube on cruise control, so I figured we would touch base on how and when to use this. The only thing that I'm realizing is that I think it is not as good on these RC N1 and 2 controllers, because the way to enable it is only through the function button. So you can customize the function button to press once to enable cruise control or double press for cruise control. Ideally, there'd be a button on the bottom, because when you're flying, it's really hard to control the movement and then finagle your finger to press that. I can't really do it. So I guess you could use your index finger, but it's not ideal. It's way easier if you can fly and then just use a button right here for your middle finger, for example. And I think you can do that on the RC controllers and the new RC2. So I may need to buy that controller just to have that option with the Mini 4 Pro. So I don't know, maybe I'll return this and get the one with the RC2. We shall see. But regardless, let's get into it. And we have, mind you, this is the Lycus case, and apparently it fits my controller, the RCN2, with no issue, and the Mini 4 Pro, as you see, and the hub. The only thing it doesn't work with is the RC2, apparently, with the new antennas, so neither cases work for it, the hard case or the soft case from Lycus. I talked to the owner the other day, but apparently they're working on a little mod, and they'll probably have a case out soon, so stay tuned. But if anyone, because I'm going to give one of these cases away, like I said in my last video, as long as you have the RCN2 controller, you're good to go. So let me know, because it kind of will exclude anyone that has the RC2, because it won't fit. So again, we go ahead and get this guy out. I'm going to unsnap this guy, which I don't really feel is necessary, but we have it. We got the little gimbal protector, and I will do a video shortly on probably the top 5 things I think are great about this Mini 4 Pro, one of them being cruise control. I don't think a lot of people even know how to use it correctly or when to use it correctly, so this hopefully will touch on that, and we shall. It's cold out. I do not like cold weather, and this is the first kind of cold snap that we've had, and I'm not enjoying it, and I really need to try to get back to Hawaii. I'm manifesting that. I got a new job position here in Chicago, and I'm really, really hoping I can transfer, because they do have a Honolulu position. So keep your fingers crossed, because I don't know if I could make it one more winter in Chicago, because it blows. And this is not even cold, really. So I think we have, what does it say? The iPhone 15 Pro Max, great little phone, just so you know. So it's 54 degrees out, and to me that's really cold. And in Hawaii, people would be freezing their asses off and completely not happy. So let's go over here, and we got the USB-C. This is new for me, so the 15 Pro Max has a USB-C connection. We're going to put that in. I thought I'd power this guy on. Whew. I kind of wish we had, like the Mini 2, the fun little LED that changed colors. So DJI, if you're listening, bring back a little flare. I know a lot of people didn't really use that much, but I thought it was kind of fun to have on these little drones. So a little LED maybe right here for the Mini 5 Pro that will change colors and do what it did like the Mini 2. So anyway, I digress. So we're going to do a screen recording. Boom. Low power mode. I don't want low power mode, I want a screen recording. We're going to go into the Fly app, and I'll show you before we take off. It's cold. So DJI Mini 4 Pro, we're going to go ahead and go fly, and I'll show you how we're going to set this controller up.
Approached edge of altitude zone.
Yeah, shut up. Okay, we are still recording. Let's point away from the ugly garbage can. This is where I used to work at the park, in the park district. I am glad I do not do that any longer. And anyway, so we're going to go ahead. We got satellites. We got the home point updated. That's first number thing we need. when we're about to take off. But we're gonna go in the top upper right-hand corner to those 3 dots in the settings. And then we're gonna go over here. I'm gonna go ahead and hit brake just to make sure we have obstacle avoidance on. I'm gonna go to control, and you're gonna see if we scroll down, we have button customization. So right now I have single press set to cruise control, and I have double press set to the auxiliary LED. Spoiler alert, the auxiliary LED kicks butt on being able to see this drone. So one of my top 2 features, cruise control and auxiliary LED. But you can see here we can set a lot of different things. Increase exposure compensation, decrease. I mean, to me that's kind of useless for that dial. It could be doing so much more and so much more effective stuff, but we can change it to whatever we want. I'm gonna do single press because it's the easiest to enable cruise control. And then as I said, I have double press to tap on the auxiliary LED that will toggle it on and off. So that's really it. And we're gonna go ahead and show you. So what we do is basically start the movement and then press this button. Now mind you, the only thing, as I said, with the RCN2 controller is it's hard to actually press this button. Sometimes you wanna like use your nose or something, but for real, DJI, you need to somehow make that a little bit easier. I don't know what it would be. Maybe we could program home button or pause button or power, I don't know, something, a little switch maybe would be great. Just something easier because, as I said, on the RC2 and the RC1, you can press the bottom button, and that really is a lot easier to toggle cruise control on. So with no further ado, let's launch this guy. There we go.
Take off.
We're gonna get him somewhere safe. I'm physically watching little drone, making sure we're still screen recording. We are. And what can we see? We see pumpkins right here, but I'm gonna go high to not get into any trouble anywhere. Let's go, like say, 100 feet or something. So essentially what it's gonna do, it's gonna, once you start the movement, so right now I'm gonna go ahead and do a little orbit. So I'm pressing right on my right stick and left on my left stick to do a little orbit this way. And if I hit the function button once, right now, it's still continuing the movement. And guess what? Look, no hands. So that's one easy way to start an orbit. I still personally like to manually do it the whole time, but you can see it's not doing a great job in staying fixated, say, on that tree, but that is an example of utilizing this. And to break out of it, all you need to do, just so you know, if you're panicking or something, just toggle the sport mode or the mode dial right here, the switch from Cine, normal, sport. That will break out of Cine mode in case you do feel like panicked or you need to just stop it from doing its own thing. So that's one use for it. But say, for example, let's see if we can go somewhere else. Hold on. Let's go to this park, somewhere that we can kind of orbit and see if it actually does well. I'll toggle in the movie mode. Maybe I can pick that little guy right there, that little canopy. And I'm going to go to Cine mode, and I'm going to start recording. Okay, got text coming through. That's one of the downsides of using your phone. I'm going to start that orbit, kind of holding position right now. And I'm going to press the function button. Cruise control is enabled. And you can see it's doing it, but it's not doing it extremely well. So it will get you the movement, but it's not holding. You see, no hands right now. It's not locking on that little canopy in the park like it should. So again, I'm going to toggle the mode dial switch, and that will break me out of the cruise control. So let's go ahead and just try to manually orbit, and I'll show you. So I'm going to pick this little canopy right here, this green one, throw it in the Cine mode, and let me just manually orbit and see what I can do. So here, I'm not even going to use cruise control. And you see precision way better for me, just using, whoops, can't talk, just using my own abilities to fly and pretty much, nailing it for the most part. And if I go ahead and try to enable cruise control, here, hold on a second, it's really hard for me to somehow depress the function button. So I'm flying, doing an orbit, and it's like, what do I do? Do I kind of lift this finger? That's probably the only thing you can do. So to me, that's a real big limitation with this controller. I don't know if you guys know anything differently. Let me know. But one other thing, let me see. Okay. Aircraft storage full, backup. Okay, I don't have a memory card in here, I don't think, but doesn't really matter right now. So let's go somewhere else. One thing it's great for, in my opinion, is just ascending something. So if you're rising up a building, for example, and you don't want to try to maintain perfect speed, and it may not matter that much. So let's go somewhere over here. I don't know. What can we kind of cruise up? Or if you're just wanting to go forward, for example. I'm going to go forward and just press the function button. Now it's enabling cruise control. Now I can just roll up the gimbal, for example, and maybe focus on that. So that can be another use for using this feature. You just have one less thing to actually have to worry about when you're flying. There's a lot of different creative uses for this cruise control. So as you see, that kind of works well. But as I said, I think going up and down, meaning ascending and descending, can be really, really kind of helpful. So if you're cruising up like this, here, let me go down a little bit. So say this is a building. We're going to start our little movement. And then we're going to press the function button once. And then it just kind of does its thing. And you can relax for a minute and not have to really worry about trying to keep the perfect sensitivity on the stick. But again, you're always going to get the most control when you're manually flying your drone, of course. And to break it, just switch out of there, or you can hit that little cancel button too. So let me see. I think it will actually, so you know, adjust. Like if you're rolling the gimbal, let's see if it will actually work that way. So I'm going to go ahead and go into cine mode, do a little orbit, and roll down the gimbal, press that, and you see it's not continuing the gimbal movement. Let me see one more time. I'm going to break out of that and try. So I'm going to roll down the gimbal, kind of obvious so we can see. Yeah, so it won't do that. It won't actually cruise control and affect the gimbal. So I thought it would, but I guess it won't. One more time. Wait, let me go a little slower. So roll up the gimbal. Oh, why is it going so fast? Yeah, the minute I let off the stick, it will still rotate and yaw the drone, but it won't do anything with the gimbal, so you guys are aware. So I'm hoping this helps a little bit. I didn't want to do a crazy tutorial because there's only so much you really need to know. Other than that, it's a really handy feature for certain things. So say I'm trying, again, let me see, just to do a little orbit of this, and I may want to do a little bit more control on the gimbal. So I'm going to do the orbit, or start the movement, and I could actually, so I can go up, back, like I could ascend, and that will continue that whole movement. So I'm actually ascending, as you see, slowly, but I am. And then I could roll down the gimbal a little bit. So essentially what it's doing is freeing up you to concentrate on the camera. That is one of the things that I'm kind of just now realizing that it works relatively well for. So do. So you see, you can get a kind of cool little movement. I'm just affecting the gimbal right now while it's doing its own thing in cruise control. Again, break out of it by toggling the little mode dial, and that's it. So let me know what you guys use this for, but just know it's a feature. Play with it. I don't think it's amazing all the time, but it definitely is good for certain things when you're just trying to actually get a little help with the movement and seeing what it can actually do for you as far as freeing up some energy to maybe work the gimbal. And yeah, that's it. So here, hold on. So like this movement too, I'm gonna go sideways, sideways, enable cruise control. Now let me see if I move the other stick. No, it's not gonna do it. I can control the drone still, but it's only gonna be cruising control in the one move that I made, which was basically flying the drone to the right. So, yep. Hoping this helps shed a teeny bit of light on cruise control and when and how you would use it. For the city, when you're ascending a building, I think that's a good example because you don't want to necessarily try to get the stick perfect. You may want to just hit the cruise control button and it will ascend, and it's pretty much all you need. So try it for something like that, for example, and also for freeing you up to just control the gimbal. And what I would do too, so you're aware, is go into control and go into your gain and expo tuning and make sure, whoop, shit, what did I just do that? I don't know, I gotta look at to see what it was set at, but I'm gonna scroll down and I think I have this gimbal set to 10. Oh, that's why. Somehow it's set quicker. So I probably would put it to like 4. Somewhere like that. Yeah. So keep it dialed down low so when you're controlling the camera, it's not doing a quick jerky movement and you can kind of get this nice little smoothness going on. And that's all you really need. So let's try one more little thing and then I'll be done and we will go. So here, do an orbit. Say we're doing an orbit of that building down below. I'm going to hit the function button, enable cruise control, and I'm just going to roll the camera down a little bit. And that's pretty good. Again, that crosshair is moving from that building, so it's not doing perfect, but for a lot of stuff, it may not be that crucial. Maybe let it go a little bit, and then maybe roll the camera up. And all I'm having to do is focus on my finger rolling the camera up and down. So that's it. Virtual home point right over there. I'm going to cruise back here in sport mode. And when you're in sport mode, mind you, there's no optical avoidance turned on. And it is cold with the breeze. I really do not enjoy cold weather, and this is only the start of it, and it's kind of bumming me out. So let me see. Little drone, where are you? The virtual home point really is a nice feature just because there we are, or there I am. You can see the drone cruising, kind of. Whoop. You can hear it. Where am I? Again, be careful with no obstacle avoidance. I'm going to cruise down here. I'm right over here. You see the garbage can. Don't hit the light pole. All right, cruise this guy in. And it won't be complete until I land them. Put your hand down. And voila, cruise control with the Mini 4 Pro. Hope this helps, guys. And subscribe, hit the like button. Almost at 5,000 subscribers, which is nice. Hoping to hit 10, which I don't know will happen by the end of the year, but hope springs eternal, as my mom says. And that's it. Aloha, guys. Thank you. Bye.